reluctant to accept the religion of their masters. Many owners hope that Christianity might make their slaves more docile. Many owners hope that Christianity might make their slaves more docile and encourage them to convert. On Sundays, niggas had to sit and listen to a white man's sermon. Obey your master. Be good servant. Can't tell you how many times I done heard that text preached on. They tell the slave that if he be good, work hard for his master, that he would go to heaven. They tell the slave that if he be good, work hard for his master, that he would go to heaven, and that he gonna live a life of ease. They ain't never tell him he gonna be free in heaven.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing out there? I come here to percolate your mind. That's what I do. Make you think. So I was thinking, and in the process of thinking, I kind of like came back to one of the PowerPoints that I had a video on a little while ago, and it was talking about, hell and, afterlife and stuff like that. So this particular title is going to be called Life After Death. I know a lot of people believe in life after death. See, what happens is, we're on this earth. And in our mind, the abilities that we have, and abilities that we can't even explain how we got them, but we have them, and very powerful abilities. We just don't want to, think that we got these abilities and then we're going through this whole life with these abilities and then we just die and then it's nothing. So the intelligence of us and the very expansion of our minds over, the years and years of evolution in the human species, we just cannot accept the fact that it might not be anything after death. But with religious beliefs and, different stories that have, been told over the years, you can't help but to have that in your head, especially with the way that societies are ran, that it's a life after death. And strangely, we support the fact that life after death is predicated on our life now that we're living on this earth. So what I'm going to do is kind of trying to break it down a little bit and then go into my spiel. Okay. Definition of life: the condition that distinguishes animals and plants from inorganic matter. You see what I'm saying? That's the definition of life. Things that has, what we would call energy. It's able to move and, you can, it's a natural process. It's not nothing that is not natural, that the energy expands itself off of. That's life, okay. That's cool. The word after: in a time following an event or period of time. It's after, it was 7:59 and then it's 8 o'clock. So it came after 7:59. Just a little simple definitions, nothing big. Definition of death: the end of life of a person or organism. See what I'm saying? That's something that we, talked about with life, and what life was. Once death come, it's the end of it. It's no longer any of those attributes that we had here. It is gone because it's after death, and that's the end. Life after death. I don't know how you can substantiate life after death, because you would need life first. Death is dead. There's nothing that comes after death. Seems pretty clear cut, but what we do is we go off of the religious texts, and we go after, what has been taught to us over the years. A soul, a spirit, what we do on this earth will determine where our soul go, Whew. What we do here will determine where our soul go. Like, do we have a soul now? Okay, we have a soul now. Cool. We have a soul. That's what y'all want to say. We got a soul. But I don't know any way that you can prove that we have a soul just because we are alive. We're alive. That means we have a soul. The way that we act and move and think means that we have a soul. Well, how come a cockroach doesn't have a soul? A cockroach is alive. A cockroach has energy. It has a lot of the attributes that we have. It's an organism. Why doesn't it have a soul? We have to put a soul on us because we just can't be here on just how we get here. We don't know these things, y'all. I went over that before. We don't know these things, but yet we act like we do. We act like we act like we have died before. We act like people who have died and came back and said, this is how it is after death. There's a heaven and a hell. You know. How do you know? You can believe. But just because you believe something doesn't make it true. It just means you believe it. So how are we coming up with these concepts? You know what I'm saying? After death, you're going to go to heaven or hell, says the Christian faith. Says the Islamic faith. Now, Christians and Islamic faith-based people differentiate in so many ways. You can't say Allah and Jehovah are the same person. You cannot. But yet, billions of people on the flip side of either one of those religions would say Allah is the only true God. And on the other end, they would say Jehovah is the only true God. And we know both of them cannot be the true God. Or maybe neither one of them are. Maybe there's no such thing as a God, period. Maybe man just came up with these concepts to try to explain life after death. Maybe. We don't know. These are some of the things that I come up with, and I want y'all to think about those things before you just go so hard in a book. The Bible, the Quran, any of those Abrahamic faiths or any of those faith that was support life after death and what happens after death. Okay. In the Quran, 7:23, it says, the damned will linger in hell for ages. That's what the Quran says. And in other scriptures, it says hell is a horrible eternal place, and that you will be consigned to forever, for eternal. You see what I'm saying? That is the definition in the Quran. Now, in the faith that I grew up in, which is Christianity, this is how it goes. If you don't do what Jehovah says, then you are going to go to hell. If you don't ask for Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, you're going to go to hell. That's what they believe. And in the Quran, if you don't do the text and if you don't obey what Allah has put forth for you on this earth, then you will go to hell. My question is, Christianity and Islam are totally two different things. Christians do not believe in Allah, and Muslims do not believe in Jehovah. So it's going to be a problem when it's time for life after death. Where are these people going to go? The Christians is believing that they have the true God. So anybody that does not submit to their God is going to hell. Does not do what their God say is going to hell. And anybody that does not do what the Muslim God, Allah, you're going to hell. So now it's a problem. It's a problem. Are the Christians going to go to the Muslim hell because they don't believe in Allah? Or are the Muslims going to go to the Christian hell because they don't believe in Jehovah? Wait a minute. Y'all know that sounds retarded, but ain't nobody going to go against it, because like I said in prior videos, it's been ensconced in our head since we were fetuses. Either you were raised up to believe in something, or you was raised up not to believe in it. But once you stop believing in it, it's not real anymore. You don't have to fear a hell or a heaven and all of those different things, because you have come to the conclusion and understanding that nobody knows. So how did they come up with these concepts when they have never died? And if they have died, they never came back and wrote anything in the Quran and wrote anything in the Bible to support a heaven or a hell. These are just claims. These are claims that cannot be supported. In reality. So what I'm going to ask you people out there to do is live your life, a best life that you can possibly live, without the fear of anything except for the things you need to fear on this earth. Except for the principles that you need to go by on this earth. That's what you need to do. Be kind to your neighbor. Love one another. Do all of the things that help support life. That's what you do. But you don't need a God to do those things. You've just been taught to believe that you need a God to do those things. Because I can do all of those things anyway. At first I thought I can do all things through Christ, but I can do all things to brother Shabaka. That strengthens in myself. So all I'm going to ask y'all to do is just think. Use your brain and think. Challenge everything and challenge everybody. And you'll come up with your best answer that you need to help support life and a positive life for yourself and your loved ones and your friends and everybody around the globe. And this will be a better place. This is just a few thoughts from your brother, Nuri Shabaka, Ursa. Peace. Black Power. Oh yeah, knowledge is infinite. Therefore, evolution is inevitable.